Hello, my name is Ty. I am your homicidal chauffeur, and welcome back to Crusader Kings 2, A Game of Thrones. Last episode we declared War of Independence on King Dickon of the Trident, and that war was short and successful as we kidnapped him soon afterwards, and then he died of winter fever. So now we're River King Edmyn, and hopefully we can find some allies, secure the future for the next generation, and make sure that we can continue to enjoy our independence. I'm having a look at my minor titles, and I'm going to give Sir Clement, I'm going to make him Keeper of Swans. It is almost purely a ceremonial title. It's something he can do, and he'll like me a lot more for it. Mr. Wayless is unhappy with me because I fired him from the council, and I also had to ask him to stop plotting against my Master of Laws. But he's got a pretty good marshal, and he is a hunter, so I'm going to make him Master of the Horse. Lord Jeremy of Edgerton has asked me for the High Lordship of Rosby. Instead, I'm going to make him Commander. Hopefully that will help his opinion of me a little bit. Princess Caitlin of Riverrun has turned 16. She's a flamboyant schemer, fashionable, trained fighter, ambitious, ruthless, just, charitable. She wants to become Master of Laws. I don't think that's going to happen. She might make a pretty good spy master though. She's not any better than Othin right now, so maybe not quite yet. She's also not married. Now here's the thing. If something were to happen to Celia before she becomes queen, then Caitlin would be our heir. And if I marry her off and it's not matrilineal, then I could be in danger of losing my dynasty. So I'm probably going to leave her single for now. Now, according to this, Simon is next in line. So even if something happened to Celia, I think we would have Simon, who's my grandson, and then the girls come in line. So remember, I have to pay her dowry if I get her married off. Let's see what we can find out. So Theo Darklin is Queen Gianna's uncle and heir to the Kingdom of the Trident. So I wonder, he's all of 10. If we marry him to Caitlin, it will not do that. His opinion of me is good. The ages and skills are fine, but political concerns are a big negative. It would result in a non-aggression pact, which obviously is why I was interested. So I have a military strength of 5,000, and I have non-aggression pacts with Patrick Frey, who has 4,000, and Illifer Mallister, who has 3,000. So can I get them to form an alliance with me? He will not accept my offer because of political concerns. Patrick Frey, on the other hand, is perfectly willing to form an alliance with me. So let's do that. My wisdom and mercy are legendary. He accepts my alliance. Today I was approached by my brother Brendan. Apparently he is concerned about my health and thinks that I am becoming too frail and thin. If I keep eating so little, he says, I will soon no longer be able to wield a sword, pleasure a woman, or even just go out riding. Maybe I should eat a bit more, or I could say, shut up, that's none of your business, and get stressed. So maybe I will eat more. I'm sure I'm going to get gluttonous. My brother thinks that he deserves recognition, and he wants the High Lordship of Rosby. I would be happy to, but no. Brendan's advice was really the motivation that I needed to get back in shape. It was hard to adjust myself to a different diet at first, but now I'm feeling much better, ready to take on whatever the world might throw at me. I will have to throw out my old clothes. Alright, that's a good start. Maybe we'll get some martial out of this. As a side note, down here in Dragonstone, we have the Vale have invaded and occupied, and there's a big fight going on there. Queen Liza is rather honest and has spoken publicly about my virtues. This has radicalized my vassals, where some agree and some do not. Oh well. So it looks like anybody that had a positive opinion of me is plus 10 for 5 years. But anybody with a negative has gone minus 10. I gained 5 prestige, so maybe it's all worth it. My prestige is up to 1864, and I'm 38, so I'm closing in on that 2000, feeling pretty good about it. Othon needs to talk to one of my vassals about associating with the conspiratorial factions. It's Lord Malyard. Really, after we vouched for you when you got in trouble with the bank? Unbelievable. Queen Gianna of the Trident is age 8 and controls 12,000 troops. I'm sure it'll be fine. Sure it'll be fine. We do have enough money where we can upgrade River Run once more. I'm not sure what fort level does, but basic defenses sounds pretty smart. It's only 75 gold, so I'll get that started. It'll take 6 months. In the city of Riverview, I can get basic defenses in as well. Same deal, 75 gold, 6 months. This is kind of interesting. Here we have Lord Janos of Rook's Rest. And although he's a riverman, he's still in Iron King Harwin of the Iron Isles vassalage. He's 20 and unmarried. So, would you like to get married to Catelyn? He would. I would lose 100 prestige. Would he do it matrilineally? He would not. It wouldn't do me a lot of good to marry him for a military alliance either. He's only got 600 troops. So the only other character in the Trident who's a lord or higher that is willing to marry my daughter is Lord Lolliston here. Is Lord Jostin of Lolliston, who is not very good and only has 500 troops, and he's not willing to do matrilineal. Honestly, I somewhat feel bad for Catelyn, but I think I'm going to have to pass on marrying her right now. For one, I can't afford to pay the dowry, and if nobody wants to accept matrilineal, then I can't even use it to bring in somebody who's going to be good for the council or a commander or somebody like that. So we're going to hold off. I am River King Edmyn, so maybe somebody will approach me with an offer. I'm still trying to earn some prestige, so I'm going to go on a grand hunt. I will find the white stag. King Edmyn is a hunter, so he should do well. It's time for me to educate my daughter, Princess Tice. She has a good diplomacy so far, so I will educate her at court. Just the essentials. I am such a good hunter, I do not always need my retinue when I hunt. There is a large pack of wolves ahead, and they look hungry. I need more pelts for winter. I'll get wounded. Or maybe it's better to run. I'll get craven. So that's awesome. Wounded will hurt my martial and my health. Craven will hurt my martial even worse. I'm going to take wounded. Do we get the pelts? Oh, it's only 25% chance wounded, 10% maimed, and 5% I'll die. But I gain 30 prestige. This is only 30% Craven. Let's go for the pelts. I've gained wounded. So yeah, that's -1 martial, -1 health, -20 personal combat. I did get the prestige though. Due to my injury, the hunt has been cancelled. I got the prestige. It hurt my health. Could have been worse, I guess. I could have died. I'm 39, so -1 health. It isn't the worst. Lord Geribald and Lord Malyard have an alliance. It's Simon's turn to be educated. He is the future of House Tully. Right now he's looking pretty good at martial. I'm not positive that's where I want him to go. He might need it though if we're going to defend our lands in the future. So I will groom him for a command. I'm going to get him a good tutor and good equipment. That will cost me 40 gold. But I think it'll be worth it down the line. In the meantime, I'm going to assign him a guardian. And it's going to be me. I'll say yes. And done is done. Checking in on Jirel. She is 2 and still sickly. My council is still looking pretty good. My Master of Whisper, Othin, has been loyal and I have awarded him justly. But I think it's time that he was replaced with my daughter Caitlin. And that will boost her opinion of me. I'll have her scheme in Riverrun. So we talked before how I wasn't going to be able to fabricate claims against my neighbors because they were part of the Kingdom of the Trident. And not only do we have a truce with them, but they have a more powerful military. But instead I'm going to send my Master of Laws down here in Stokeworth, which actually belongs to Iron King Halen, and it borders Rosby, so that will be very convenient. And we'll see how long that takes. Catelyn has already discovered that a vassal has conspired against me, and it is her uncle, Brother Brynden. He will be obligated. We have finished basic defenses in Riverrun. Thanks to my excesses in recreational sportsmanship, I can no longer afford barracks at the moment, so we'll have to hold off on that. So Lord Geribald wants to kill Sir Allard Hogg. I'm not sure I know who that is. He is the Master of Arms at Soeshorn. He's not even the heir. Not sure what you're up to, Lord Geribald. Can I just ask him to end the plot? He'll do that. I'm not going to imprison him. All's well that ends well. I should appoint a guardian for Tice. Her older sister? No. How is she coming along? She's a pretty good diplomat. I am going to make it her older sister, but Catelyn instead. Okay, my daughter, Master of Whispers, Princess Catelyn, has uncovered a plot by Lord Jeremy of Edgerton. And the plot is that he wants to kill Princess Catelyn. So, we have a 49% chance to imprison him. He doesn't like me either, obviously. And so I'm not inclined just to ask him to knock it off. Let's attempt to arrest him. He is locked away in my dungeon. Excellent. Oh, Jeremy is complaining about his dark dungeon and asking for more suitable accommodations. Instead, I'm going to call Lord Jeremy to trial. He has demanded trial by combat. The guards drag Jeremy up from his cell and throw him at your feet. I've come for justice, he says. By right of birth and blood, I demand trial by combat. Sir Cleos will be my champion. You have that right. I will select somebody to stand for the River King. He has a 60 personal combat. He's 51, but a trained fighter and a knight, and fat and slothful. Sir Sefton of Sozhorn is my master of laws and a commander. He's fairly important as far as the realm goes, but he's an 85 personal combat. He is already stressed, however, but Sir Sefton will be my champion. Fight well, Sir Sefton. You watch with glee as Sir Sefton drives his sword relentlessly at Cleos, beating him into submission. The gods have their judgment. Jeremy is guilty. The gods were not in their favor. Now what to do with him? I can execute him, send him to the wall, which will get me 40 piety. I can let him rot in the cell, or he can go to house arrest, and his opinion of me will go up by 10 for 60 months. It's either execution or the wall. He's a tyrant, greedy, arbitrary, cynical, deceitful, wrathful. He's not even a particularly good fighter. I don't think the wall will have much use for him. The gods command it. Execute him. How will he be dispatched? I can have him gored to death by boars. 10% chance I gain the trait cruel. It will gain me prestige. I can have him hanged or beheaded. He who passes the sentence should swing the sword. He's been beheaded. Now Lady Eldacy has inherited the lordship of Edgerton. She's 13 years old, and she dislikes me less than her father. She seems pretty good though, temperate, kind, gregarious, and unbetrothed. I don't want to betroth her to Simon. That would certainly be a step down, in my opinion. Is it time I got Simon betrothed? So back to Lord Jonas of Rook's Rest for a moment. Remember, he's a riverman, but his liege is Ironborn. He doesn't have any children. He is only 21. So his heir is his sister, Bethany. And she already has a daughter. The Lordship of Rook's Rest is actually an elective, though. So Eldacy here is lowborn. But she's 4 years old and a genius. Great stats across the board. So that will cost Simon prestige, but it won't cost me any. And like I said, she's going to be a good wife. Alright, so one more rethink on this. I already have a claim to the Lordship of Harrenhal. And Lord Benifer of Atranta has an eldest daughter who has pretty good stats, is ruthless, envious, authoritative, and proud. And additionally, that will get us a non-aggression pact, which we may be able to turn into an alliance. So I think I'm ready to send that over. It's only minus 100 prestige for Simon. And it's only a betrothal, so we can reconsider later if we must. He has accepted my betrothal. So our heir is now betrothed to Marianne Vance. I'm going to add her to my list of characters. She's an important part of our future dynasty. The old wound has finally healed, leaving a pretty grotesque scar behind. I've lost the trait wounded and gained the trait scarred. So that means I get my martial back, and my health as well, including my combat skill, and also gain 0.1 per month prestige. So all in all, I think that the hunt worked out okay in the end. Princess Catelyn has been an able servant. It would seem the right and honorable thing to do would be to reward her. I can grant her the reward of 10 gold, and her opinion will go up by 10 for 5 years. To be fair, her opinion is already 72, but I can give her 10 gold. And we still have gold left over to improve River Run. So barracks sound like a good idea to me. 75 for 1 year. And there it is. I've been waiting for it. River King Edmyn the Imperious fulfilled his ambition to become exalted among men. We're up to 2100 prestige. And I think that's a great place to end the video. But we've accomplished so much. We've fulfilled our ambition. We've started to see the next generation come through, and they look very good. So it should be interesting going forward with an independent river run in the shadow of the Trident, and hopefully we can keep our independence. If not, I think we'll still be okay. We'll go back to having the High Lordship. But Edmyn is only 41. We're no longer wounded. And I think he has a few more good years left in him. And who knows what could happen. So for now, my name is Ty. I am your homicidal chauffeur. This has been Crusader Kings 2, A Game of Thrones. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And have a good night.